Hello everybody, this short video is to show you how to rescan for cookies on your website now that you have the GDPR Cookie Consent Plugin installed. Now I know that for some of you I'm doing that as part of your website maintenance, but I wanted to kind of give you this video as well so that you just know how it all works should things change. So I'm in my own website at the moment looking at this, and I'm going to jump over into the front end just to show you kind of how things look from this end, because you'll want to go and just double check things while we go through the process. So I'm just going to load the front end now. While that loads, it's going to take a moment. The first thing you want to do when you're doing the new cookie scan is go to the plugin on your menu over here and go down to Cookie Scanner. And what you'll see here is a list of all the cookies that you've currently got on your site. So as you can see, I've got 10 cookies at the moment and they're all categorized here. Just make a note of how many you had so that when you run the scan, you know that if you've got any new ones or not. And you then just literally hit scan now. Now this will take a little bit of time, so we'll go and have a look at the front end stuff while this runs, but you must leave this page open while it does that scan for you. So on the front end, there will be a cookie pop-up come up like this on your site. Yours may look slightly different, and there's two key things that the scan will update. The first is the read more page, and this is your actual cookie policy page, and the second is your cookie settings, which are here. And as you'll see in the cookie settings, you can see each cookie that comes under each category listed, and this is to enable people to turn off cookies that they don't want to run on the site. So what we have to do is provide this granular approach to it. So necessary ones are always enabled and they can't turn those off, but you need to give them the option to turn the others off, but also need to tell them what those cookies are. And when we get the new cookies through from the scanner, I'll show you how to ensure that this information is updated. The cookie policy itself on this page contains a table with all the cookies in it, and this will automatically update once you've finished the scan and you've added the cookies to it. So you won't need to change this, but it's worth just checking that the cookies are listed there as they should be. So back to our scan, which as you can see is running. So I'm going to pause the video while this runs and we will pick this back up in a moment once we've got to 100%. So as you can see, we've reached 100%. And the number of cookies that have been found is 14. So there has been an increase since the last scan was done. So what we're now going to do, excuse me, is add these to our cookie list by clicking on the Add to Cookie List button. And what we want to do is merge them, because this is going to ensure that any that are already there get updated, has there been any changes on them and their categorization, but also that the new ones are added. So you just then click Start Import. And this has now added the cookies to the cookie list. So as you can see down here now, we have 14 cookies on the site. As I said before, what we now need to do is make sure that these cookies show up on both the cookie policy and on the bit where we have to select the necessary cookies and just tell people what those cookies are so they can make those granular decisions. So the first thing I'm going to do is go back into the front end of the site. And just check that those cookies are now coming through into the general policy. And then to have a look at the cookie settings as well. So as you can see, these cookies are now all in the general policy. And then we just want to check which ones are missing from this overview screen where people can opt in and out. So you can see we've got 2 listed here under necessary. But actually, if we go and look at necessary, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are actually 6 cookies there. And actually, this is where the new cookies have come in due to a recent update in this particular plugin. So I know that the others will be fine, but we'll just have a look at those as well. So again, looking at the analytics, we've got 3 cookies listed here at the moment. And on this page, there are still 3, which are all the same. Performance, we have 2 there. And we have 2 here. And finally, advertisement, I have 3 here and we have 3 there. So we know the ones that we need to update are the necessary ones. So back into the back end, We're going to be updating these in the cookie category section. And this is where we can go in and list them. So as you'll see over this side, we have all the cookie categories. This gets quite long due to the way that WordPress displays it, and we can't do anything really about that. We scroll down to the category that we need to add to, which is the necessary one, and we click on edit. And as you'll see when this loads, the text that is here matches the text that sits here under necessary. So all we now need to do is add in those other cookies, the 4 new ones. And what I generally do is copy and paste from here. Now this does bring it through in a table, and you don't necessarily want a table here unless you've chosen to do that, but it means that we can quickly edit it without having to retype everything. So I just paste that in, and I then go into the text view and remove everything that creates this as a table. So basically all of this up to here, and then we have the name of the cookie and the description of the cookie. And I'm going to basically go through now and do that for all 4 of these new cookies, just to make sure that we have everyone listed. And that we've removed anything that relates to the table. So hopefully you'll be able to follow this video when you come to do this yourself and see exactly what I did to remove all of the stuff that relates to the table as well. So there we've added the 4 new cookies, and then we're just going to scroll down to the bottom here and click update. And if I pop back when that's just finished updating, we're just waiting for that to finish clicking over. So that has now updated. If we now go to cookie settings here, oh, no, that hasn't refreshed there, sorry. I actually need to reload the page, that's my fault. What you should see then when this is reloaded is that the cookie settings will now show those 4 new cookies. And that's basically all that there is to it. The only other thing that I generally tend to do on this is under policy generator here. What we've got is this is basically all the content that's in your cookie policy page. And under the what types of cookies we use section, I do, was it under how? On some sites, people have asked me to put in a note here that says when the cookie list was last checked. So if you've asked for that, you may want to just click into here, into this what type of cookies we use section, and just update that to say this list was last checked on and the date that you ran that scan on there. I don't use that on my own, but it's just so that you know that you can edit that if you wish to do so. So this is now reloaded, and I'm going to show you the settings now. I think I may have a caching issue on my site right now. So I'm just going to delete the cache because I want to make sure that you can definitely see this and see how it all works. But there's evidently a caching issue on my site right now. My internet has been playing up a little bit today, so that may be part of the problem. So let me just try. I know you can't see what I'm doing right now. I'm just having a look just to check if I check this through a different browser that it's going to work. And if it does, I'll then share this with you just to show you. Yes, so I'm just going to change the screen share that we have at the moment. So hopefully you can now see that the cookies have been added here. Hopefully that will make sense to you. If anything, you're unsure about anything, please let me know so I can help you as much as possible and make sure that you keep your policy up to date. Thanks for watching.